First of all, she loved all of you very much, and she asked that I extend to you how grateful she was for her unique relationship with you. She would like to say thank you to all of you who visited her, especially in her last days when she knew that it was difficult for you. She would like to thank all of you who called right up to the end, and those who sat vigil with her, and to the wonderful healthcare workers who allowed her to die with dignity and respect. Respect was something that she knew a great deal about, and as a matter of fact, she demanded, and her children will remember her saying, "You may not love me, but you will respect me." Perhaps this little Italian girl from Rochester, New York, born to Minnie and Michael Iupa, and aptly called the Duchess by her father, was indeed regal in many ways. She had a flair about her, dancing into a room with a captivating smile and an engaging spirit and personality. No wonder our father fell madly in love with her. Of course, when she added that she wanted 7 sons, and he said, "Come with me." And as a bonus, there were 3 girls. Thank goodness for all of us. She was a proud woman, and right she should be, and she was proudest of her children. She was dedicated and disciplined, running the house as Dad ran the office. Here was a woman who got up every morning to diapers and more diapers. Just think, 10 children equals about 20 years of diapers. She loved babies and always waited patiently for the next one. Most of us remember her fondly in the pink maternity sweater for our entire growing up years. I found a quotation on her refrigerator that said, "I think my life began with waking up and loving my mother's face." Certainly, that was the case for me. She loved us unconditionally. It was her spirit and her energy. She was the glue that kept us together. Our mother was comforting and kind. One of the grandchildren remembers her as Squishy, as he was embraced in her arms. She was so passionate and supportive. She championed all our causes. If we ran for student council, she was right behind us. If we were in trouble with the authorities at the Irondequoit Town Hall or with the principal of our Catholic school, she was usually on our side. She would stand up for what she valued and was even known for taking on the Bishop of Rochester, New York. She was confident and opinionated, which sometimes got her into trouble. But you knew where you stood with her, and it was only a brave soul who would take her on. Coming under her wrath was something we all experienced at one time or another, but it helped us to know her and to understand her better. Bottom line was, she cared. She cared almost to a fault about her husband and her family, what was appropriate and right and good. She had a strong self-image and was confident in her role as a wife, mother, grandmother, and great-grandmother. She was a woman of her time, a working-at-home mother, she said, raising and educating 10 of us, and also grocery shopping, cooking, cleaning, and doing laundry every day. And she was dedicated to not only supporting her family, but also her church. Bishop Casey was very clever in asking her to head up the Family Life Committee at Sacred Heart Cathedral. Who but a busy mother could get things done? Many of us learned our organizational skills from her. There would be no swimming or boating until all the chores were finished, beds made, floors vacuumed, and dishes done. It was always business before pleasure, and yet there was plenty of time for fun. Growing up, the answer was always maybe. She was the queen of, we'll see, let's see how the day shapes up. And with the family this large and every moment a little unpredictable, a we'll see was usually better than a flat-out no, especially when we were talking about going to the Grandview Parade and Carnival. Mom was a beautiful lady, blessed with a tremendous gift of hospitality. She was the most gracious and welcoming woman you could meet. She was social, loved to party, and entertained with style and grace. There was nothing she was afraid to do, always thinking it through with a pen in hand, tweaking it and making it a grand affair. Most people get a few chances to plan a party. She entertained friends and family regularly. It seemed every day was a party. Even jingling her change purse and having us guess the amount of money was a blast. The closest guess won it all. I'm not exactly sure that she loved to travel, but she did plenty of it. With a husband who loved to whisk her away for alone time, they traveled from the Caribbean to the Mediterranean, from Europe to Asia, and from South America to Canada. And how many cross-country road trips did they take? She was the navigator, prayed with Dad, read to him along the way, and got him off the road before he overdid it. She was the practical one, the one that kept things reasonable. She was frugal with money and yet generous. How many of us got our start with a house because of her generosity, or started a business because she was the wind beneath our wings? And then there was the creative side, obviously with 10 of us, but she was creative in other ways as well. She had beautiful homes, enjoyed decorating and adding her own touches. She had a way with color and with flowers. She was stylish in her dress, a true fashionista. Just check with Agnes on Stutson Street or Annette on the Via Condotti in Rome. In later years, she cherished silly little doodads and saved every little piece of ribbon or twine. And we now find them twisted and twined everywhere. And how about her art? She was a prolific painter and a fabulous sculptor. Many of us enjoy her paintings hanging in our homes today. It was her retirement joy to take classes and paint. Her sculptures are beautiful labors of love, often fashioned while thinking of the intended recipient. And then in her later years, she wrote her own story. Being the modern woman that she was, had it produced on DVD, entitled it The Gormican Family, A Pictorial Journey. Netflix might not pick it up, but it is a cherished history of our family and her dedicated life and love. Besides her own children, she leaves a huge legacy. There are almost as many in-laws as outlaws, and all have had a relationship with her. She cherished her time with you and was grateful for how you have enhanced the lives of her children. She was also grateful for her 26 wonderful grandchildren and the unique and positive relationship that she had with each of you. She remembered all your birthdays, graduations, and special occasions. A few years ago, out of the blue, she sent a beautiful letter and a check, demonstrating her love for you and her wish that you have some fun money for something special. And to the great-grandchildren, she cherished each of your births. How happy and fortunate you should feel to be born into such a legacy. And to her friends, she was Jerry, cheery and gorgeous and gracious. She loved her time with you and the experiences you shared. She was a loyal and kind friend and probably your biggest fan. In her later years, and especially in the last months of her life, she became friends with the staff at the Seasons. With tremendous care and love, they did the job that is so difficult for so many of us. With dignity and respect, they took care of her, and they became her family as well. She emotionally supported them, encouraged more education, goal setting, and better jobs. One lovely lady there told me that she got promoted because of Mom's influence. Our mother was blessed with good health and energy. She had a strong heart that hated to give out in the end. She reiterated several times how grateful she was to all of you for everything, for enriching her life with your love. And so again, it is my great pleasure to say thank you for her. She would say, everything is lovely. I'm fine. I'm so grateful. I've been blessed with a full and beautiful life, and thank you for coming. And she'd also say, enough is enough. And when it's done, it's done. And so be assured, her memory lives on through all of us. God bless you, Mother dear. Rest in peace. You have earned your reward.